story. Vice is set to be headed for bankruptcy May 1st. New York Times story. Nobody would have guessed this was coming. It was a $5.7 billion company just a minute ago, and now they're talking about going on auction. So Vice Media is preparing to file bankruptcy after being unable to find a buyer. Vice's largest debt holder, Fortress Investment Group, could end up controlling the company in the event of bankruptcy, with Vice continuing to operate normally and running an auction to sell the company for a 45-day period, with Fortress in a pole position as the most likely acquired. A company which began as a punk magazine in Montreal more than 2 decades ago has blossomed into a global media company with a movie studio, an ad agency, glossy show on HBO, and bureaus in far-flung world capitals. Its investors have included Disney and Fox, but a bearish market for digital media companies and Vice's inability to turn a profit has taken their toll. Jet, thoughts on this story?
Did you see Andrew Tate talking about this online, by the way? Because they did that documentary on him.
Yeah.
That guy, Matt Lachey or whatever he was completely corrupted. I mean, total tool. But, it's interesting. What's going to happen? I guess, you look at if you look at what Vice has put forth, for the past several years, I don't know, Vinny, how familiar you are with Vice.
I've seen the documentaries.
It's a lot of woke stuff.
Yeah.
It's a lot of, I think people are really tired of the messaging at these locations. I think it's going to be really hard for pretend organizations, as I call them. Vice was pretending to be, we're here to deliver the news. We're here to be objective. And when you don't do that, people aren't stupid. They look at that and they say, well, I'm just going to turn this off. And I think it was really interesting because Andrew Tate was front and center. That documentary was front and center. And it was garbage. I mean, I did it on my show. I analyzed it piece by piece. It was just a manifestation of what was going on there. This deception, this manipulation of the public. People are really tired of that stuff. I think Disney is suffering big time as a result of what they're doing with the wokeness injected into kids' cartoons. And people just want you to be straight with them. If you're a hard left, progressive, as I call it, regressive organization, if that's your line, if you're an MSNBC, or just own what you're doing, own your agenda. I think a lot of these organizations are getting into trouble because they're trying to trick the public. Oh, this is objective journalism. It's not. People see it and then they just say, well, I'm not gonna go here for my information because now you've been deceptive with me. I can't trust anything you're saying. I think that's been a big part of why you saw the crumble. And I saw just a lot of celebration of just, they feel like, oh, fine, it's been exposed. This was basically a facade for a really long time. I'm not saying they did no good work, but the challenge is when you do some good work and then you have peppered all of this nonsense, you ruin your brand. So decide what you want to be honest and authentic with the public, and you will receive a good return. If you don't, you get this.